Hey, what's up guys? So I am here at the Vermilion Lakes and Banff National Park in Alberta, Canada. And this past weekend, actually, we did a bunch of radar detector testing up in Edmonton, Canada. And in this video, I just kind of want to share with you kind of an overview of the results from that test. We did two different tests. On the first day, we did MRCD testing. And on the second day, we did kind of like a long-range traditional radar detector course with the radar gun on one end and, running a bunch of radar detectors towards that radar gun and seeing who gets the best range, right? So in this video, I want to talk about the results of the second day's testing, kind of the traditional long-range testing. Now, what we tested, we had a variety of the different remote detectors. We had two Stinger VIPs, we had the new Radenso HD Plus, and we had an original STIR, which has traditionally been like the benchmark for long-range performance when it comes to the remotes, right? So the original STIR. We also had a whole bunch of different windshield mount detectors, everything from international Redlines, a couple V1s, Max 2, Max 360, GT7, the Radenso Pro SE, Unit and LRD 950, like a lot of the big popular models, right? So you can go ahead and take a look at the results of all that test. You'll find a link down in the video description to the results of the testing. A lot of good information as far as the results, explanation of the results, which is really important to read so you can kind of understand what the graphs and charts are telling you. And in this video, I just kind of want to give you a general overview of a bunch of the things that we saw. So one of the things that I personally was most interested in was not so much the windshield remotes, because that testing has been done so many times, but actually kind of the remote radar detector testing. That's a little bit newer. There hasn't been as much testing, and so that's actually what I was a little bit more curious in with this test. And here is what we found with the remote radar detectors. Basically, all of the detectors that we tested, the Stinger VIP, the original STIR, and the Radenso HD Plus did phenomenal. They all beat every other windshield mount radar detector that we tested, including the V1, the RPSE, which did really well, the international Redline. Basically, the remotes beat out all of the windshield mount radar detectors, which is pretty impressive. Now, as far as how they did individually, first up, the Stinger VIP. That thing is a beast. The Stinger's a monster. It, again, just like in my last long distance test, it beat out every other radar detector. It won in 33.8, it won in 34.7, it won in 35.5. It was the only detector that was actually able to max out the course, whereas we drive all the way to the long, far end of the radar course, turn around, and as soon as we turn around, the detector goes off. Like, that thing is a beast. Like, the filtering is amazing, the capabilities are amazing as far as the long distance range. Like, that thing is incredible. So I've gotten kind of spoiled running it on my car the past couple months. So if you can get a Stinger, get one. It's awesome. Now, as far as the other two remotes, we had the original STIR. Let's talk about that one first. That one, again, has been kind of, before the Stinger, has traditionally been like our benchmark as far as long-range performance, right? It's the predecessor to the STIR Plus. It's the same idea, but no GPS, and it's got a little bit better LNA. Now, that guy did very, very well in the course. It, again, beat out all of the different windshield mount radar detectors. So very good performance with the STIR-O. The issue with the O is that it doesn't have really any K-band filtering. It's got no GPS for lockouts. It's got no TSR, I believe, and it's pretty much discontinued. So it's been our performance benchmark, but it lacks the filtering, right? Now, I'm really glad we had this one here. We also had the Radenso HD Plus, which is the new remote version of the Radenso RPSE, the Radenso Pro SE, which was the longest performing windshield mount radar detector that we tested. Beat out the international Redline, not the North American one, but the international one. We'd set it up to North American mode, which should replicate it. But basically, that was the longest range, best performing windshield mount radar detector was the RPSE, the Radenso Pro SE. The Radenso HD Plus is the remote version of the RPSE. However, it is a little bit larger, the antenna is a little bit larger, so it should, what we've been told is get better performance and better range, and that was indeed the case. We saw that the remote version of the Radenso detector actually is going to be better performing than the windshield mounts. So very impressive stuff on the RPSE. It was hanging right up there neck and neck with the O, kind of trading shots back and forth, doing very, very well with that HD Plus. Like, very respectable performance out of the HD Plus. And the good thing about that one is you're getting performance very similar to the O, right up there. However, you're also going to be getting better K-band filtering. It's a surprisingly quiet detector when it comes to filtering out the false alerts on K-band, even better than the 9500 CI or the STIR Plus, or by all means the original STIR. So the Radenso Pro, or the Radenso HD Plus, the new remote detector, seems to be a very solid contender. I think at this point I'm going to be recommending it over the STIR Plus, the 9500 CI, because you're getting better performance, similar to better performance as the M3s, with better K-band filtering, which is kind of the Achilles heel of the remote M3. So it looks to be a very strong performer. So this was kind of the initial testing that I've done. Again, we tested it on 33.8, 34.7, and 35.5, and it was a strong performer on all 3 bands. So very good stuff there from the Radensos. As far as the winner of the test, Stinger VIP, not really a surprise. Something that we did see is when you take a look at the results, you'll see like we ran 2 stingers. In some cases, like one of the stingers did well and the other one did not quite as well. What we saw with this particular test, and it's something that you'll see in radar detector testing, is the results can vary due to things like traffic. You know, if you happen to do a run and there's a car in front of you blocking the signal, it can prevent the longest distance kind of fringe detections. What we saw on this course was when you start driving down the course, and you start driving when the signal is at its weakest, you may or may not pick up kind of those long range detections. And so what we did with a lot of the detectors is we actually tried several times running the course to see if it ever picked up any of those long distance fringe detections. So it may get a blip and then, you know, like a kilometer or 2 downrange. I'm in Canada now, so I'm in like kilometer mode, right? So let's call it a mile downrange or whatever, you'll get another alert. And so we posted the longest distance detections out of the different detectors. There'll be, again, more information, so definitely take a look at that thread for all the detailed information, because there's a lot more than just what the initial results will show you in terms of the graphs, you know. But basically what we saw is the Stinger was going to be the longest performing detector. The remotes also did very well. They were able to pick up long distance detections as well, and a lot of the windshield mount ones kind of picked right around in the same cluster. Like the Redline and the RPSE were kind of our best performing detectors, and actually the Max 360 was the worst performing radar detector that we tested in this group. Not too great out of that one, so I don't know what's up with that, but maybe it's just my copy. Like the Max 2 and the GT7 actually did do a little bit better than the Max 360, so whatever. So we're seeing a little bit of stuff going on there, but the best performing detectors are, as expected, the Redline, the RPSE, and then the remotes as far as the STRO, the Radenso HD Plus, and of course the Stinger VIP. So anyways, just wanted to do a quick video since it's all fresh in my mind and I'm here and this is awesome, so I wanted to use this as a backdrop and just kind of share as I drive around, you know, like cool stuff. So anyways, take a look, links in the video descriptions to more information as far as the test results, as well as links to any of the different detectors if you want to check them out, including the Radensos, the Stingers, or whatever else, right? That's all going to be down in the video description, so awesome. Thanks for watching. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask, or better yet, again, take a look at the link on RDF, full discussion and a great place to actually ask questions and dialogue with a bunch of the other testers who were there. A huge thank you to the other guys in Canada I met up with and spent this weekend testing with. Amazing people in Canada. Big thank you to all the different testers, to Pointer Cone for sending out his international Redline. So awesome stuff. I hope this has been helpful, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.